The Network Against Gender-Based Violence and partners on Saturday, 30th November 2024 held a press conference at Action Aid the Gambia to brief the media on their level of preparedness in line with their 16 days of activism, which has started on the 25th November and will end on the 10th December 2024. The theme for this year's campaign is From Awareness to Action, Empowering Communities to End Gender-Based Violence is powerful and emphasizes the need for community involvement. Satan Dumbuya, the advocacy officer at the Network Against Gender-Based Violence, outlined how the campaign trail will go.
Within the 16 days of activism, which starts from November 25th to December 10th, this year, the Network Against Gender-Based Violence and its partners, with funding from UNFPA, would be conducting a caravan, which some of our affiliates here would be part of. This caravan is centered around CRR and West Coast because our data from the toll-free number and also from the one-stop center has shown us that these are the two regions with the highest cases of sexual and gender-based violence, and this is why we are targeting these regions and the communities within these regions. We'll be working with civil society, we'll be working with Kanyelang groups, we'll be working with youth representatives, we'll be targeting schools and other community perspectives within these communities, including lumos and marketplaces.
She further highlighted the need to work collectively to tackle gender-based violence in communities and added that it is not just a woman's problem.
Usually when you talk about gender-based violence, most people associate it to women's problem. But our data has shown that this is not only a woman's problem, but it's also a man's problem. We've received cases of boys who were raped, either by people that are close to them, by their family members, and by other members of the communities. This calls for alarm. We've also received cases of men being physically battered by their wives, the same way we have women being physically battered by their spouses. Between last year to this year, I believe we have all seen videos and pictures of two women who have been seriously butchered by their spouses. And this is all gender-based violence. We want to create an environment that is free and fair for both men and women to thrive, to be treated equally in their workplaces, in schools, and in other opportunities that concerns them.
The acting chairperson, Mariama Koma, during the press conference also emphasized the importance of this awareness activity to help minimize the gender-based violence in communities.
The significance of this theme cannot be overemphasized. It calls upon us to do more than just acknowledge the existence of GBV in our societies, but it calls for tangible and immediate action. From raising awareness of the issue to actively confronting it and to ensure that our communities, institutions, and governments take responsibility. The Unite campaign calls on all duty bearers, especially states and the private sector companies, to act and take action around ending violence against women priorities of the review of the 30 years of implementation of the Beijing Platform for Action and Political Declaration, recommitment, accountability, and resourcing. These includes implementing comprehensive strategies in partnership with women's rights organizations, allocating necessary budgets, and actively reporting on progress to end impunity and prevent violence against women and girls.
Madam Koma stressed that legal accountability is critical in eradicating gender-based violence.
We must recognize that education is key to transforming attitudes and behaviors, and that is why we engage in advocacy. Action is about making sure that everyone, be it our own children to our leaders, understand that violence in any of its form is and can never be acceptable. We need to build a society where respect, equality, and consent are the foundation of every relationship and interaction. This means integrating gender-sensitive education into our schools, workplaces, and communities. This, we believe, will help to shape the new generation that will not accept violence as a norm. But awareness and education alone are not enough. We must also hold perpetrators accountable, which the Gambia is lacking. This is where strong legal frameworks and enforcement becomes essential. Our governments, institutions, and our communities must ensure that laws protecting individuals from gender-based violence are not only in place, but are implemented with the seriousness they deserve. Survivors must have access to justice, and perpetrators must face the consequences of their actions.
The global campaign, observed annually from November 25th to December 10th, serves as a vital reminder for everyone to engage in these discussions, to create awareness with campaigners, calling for the enforcement of laws of gender-based violence to end the cycle of gender-based violence in communities. For Voice of Digital, I am Yama Mawana.